Okay, so there's some breaking news just came in earlier today. Israel's cyber terror attack against Hezbollah and Lebanon escalates tensions. So apparently, a bunch of pagers blew up all over Lebanon. Now, I kind of I hate to make a joke, but I didn't know they still had pagers. I thought that was a thing like 20 years ago. But apparently there was a bunch of pagers with explosives and they went off, and I'm hearing reports of like at least 9 dead and thousands injured all over Lebanon. And apparently I guess they were just trying to target a specific group, Hezbollah, but there were thousands of these pagers all over the country, and so you have mass casualties of collateral damage. Now, I'm gonna play a video, a little news clip that just from YouTube, and the reason I want to talk about this, it's a little bit of just like situational awareness and like self-defense against governments. You never know what a government is planning. Like, yes, even though this is not in the United States, something like this could happen here, where not at that scale, but like in a smaller scale, where a government could target an individual. Like, you wouldn't think of it that stuff like this happens. The United States has done stuff exactly like this, but abroad. And sometimes I wonder if one day that they'll do stuff like this to its own citizens. I can't talk about the things that I've seen because of clearance levels. But I know what some of the things that the American government has done, and it doesn't surprise me, you know. So let me play this, and I'll give a little bit more of my 2 cents.
Of the attacks in Lebanon, where more than 1,000 people have been injured after hundreds of personal communication devices exploded simultaneously across the country. It's believed most of the pagers were being carried by members of Hezbollah. At this supermarket, a man is picking fruit and vegetables when his device explodes. Fellow shoppers run from the scene and appear to hold their ears in pain from the loud explosion. As security camera footage shows another man's device exploding.
And also, this is why we have war. Our alliance with certain nations, and when they go, we have allies, and when our allies do shit like this, it drags us into it, you know. And I'm not a big proponent of being an ally with Israel, because it constantly drags us into war, and Israel is doing some shady shit. I don't give a damn who you are. They're doing some shady shit, and it always comes back to us because we're the number one ally of them, and we give them billions of dollars. Every year we've been giving them billions of dollars, and they could basically feel that they can do whatever they want, and pretty much they can until they can't. You know, eventually there's gonna be enough people that will just have enough with them, and will uprise and say screw them and screw the United States for being their ally. It's gonna happen eventually. You can only do so much BS around the world before the world has enough of your BS. You know. Again, putting bombs all over the country, not having eyes on target, and blowing them up. If anyone else did this, if Russia did this, the American president will be speaking out on this is atrocious, you know, how can you do this, you know. But when Israel does it, you can't say anything. You're anti-Semitic. They'll cancel you like Candace Owens or whoever, or maybe even Alex Jones. they'll just cancel you because you cannot say anything. Otherwise, you just hate Jews, you know.
In his pocket at a shop checkout.
And me, I'll say whatever I want.
2 staff members are hit by debris and run away from the counter. Hezbollah has called it one of the biggest security breaches since the group was formed. Emergency departments have been inundated with injured Hezbollah members and civilians. Local media reports say the pagers simultaneously exploded across the country after being hacked by Israel. The health ministry has appealed to all citizens who own pagers to dispose of them. Several shocked witnesses have been warning others to get rid of their pagers.
The pager devices that we have been using, all of them are exploding in the guides. We have more than 40 injured. All are going to the hospital.
We don't have room anymore in the hospitals. There's more than 400 men here. Their pagers exploded, the ones they use for communication. These are big assassinations.
And Marwan Bashar, Al Jazeera's senior political analyst. Marwan, you're joining us from Paris. I know you've been listening to everything that was said. Can you pull all of these threads together? This is still a very new story and development just over the last 2 hours. 2,750 people injured. What do you make of all of this?
I'm just going to pause right here. There will be retaliations, and Israel will act like the victim, like they always do. And the U.S. Will always take Israel's side because the Israeli lobby is the most powerful lobby here in the United States. If you don't believe me, look it up. Even as I'm making this video, I probably stand at risk of having my channel shut down just because any criticism of Israel is seen as anti-Semitic, you know. But anywho, just so that's why I wanted to talk about this. I really want to talk about this not because I hate Israel or anything. I could care less about that country. I just wanted to talk about this more as a citizen, as never have your guard down, you know, to think that a nation or even a terrorist group could, the tactics that they will use to you know, go after people, it's unconventional warfare, you know. There's stuff like this that nobody would have thought of. This is something out of a movie, you know, and it's only gonna get crazier and crazier as technology goes ahead. Like I've seen some things where they're talking about taking over cars, self-driving, hacking cars, and killing people, like by having their car ram into walls and stuff. And who knows, you know? And again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. But I've seen some of the things that the governments are capable of, and I don't know. I'm always I just stay on alert, and I tell people to, you know, just stay on alert. Never think that nothing can happen to you. You know. Let me just keep playing and see what else they talk about.
Let's start with your persistent question this past hour.
Also, because this is going on, and where America is Israel's ally, as soon as something like this happens, people get pissed off, and when they get pissed off, they do crazy shit. So this is a part of situational awareness. So this is the time to be more on alert when you're out at like at a football game or somewhere public, because when people want to retaliate, they're not going to retaliate against the people who actually hurt them. They're just going to retaliate against, you know, whoever. They just want like a large group, and that's why there's certain times of the year where you have to kind of be careful of going to certain cities or public events. Like September 11th, there's been multiple attacks on the anniversary of that day, you know. So it's like there's certain days around the year that you just have to be a little bit more alert on that day, because something can happen. Like I think April 19th or 20th, around that week, there's been multiple attacks. I think Columbine happened, and Oklahoma City happened, and others. And they usually do it in what do you call it? Homage, whatever, in praise of the previous attack. So, just something to keep in mind.
About the logic behind an attack of this nature that presumably killed only so far a few people. I think the intention, the logic, and the strategy behind such attack is not how many casualties, although we don't know yet how many casualties we will end up with after the final tally comes in. The main objective of such an attack is terror. And for our viewers around the world, it'll probably be helpful to do some role play.
And also, if you're Jewish, and like what I mean Jewish, like you look the stereotypical look of what a Jewish person looks like, even stuff like this hurts you even more, because when somebody's gonna retaliate, they're gonna retaliate against you. Like every time something happens, even me, like I have to know that people might confuse me for being Muslim or Arab because of my long hair and my beard, even though I'm Mexican American. So when certain things happen, I'm just on alert that somebody might confuse me and I could become a victim of an attack. Like after 9/11, the people started attacking sheiks just because they thought that they were freaking Muslim and terrorists. So I don't know, and sheiks are far from being Muslim. But again, people are crazy, and they always want to point fingers left and right, and they always hurt people who weren't involved.
Imagine if 1,200 people active in the Pentagon, State Department, and the CIA had their pagers explode in their faces, arms, and abdominal. How would you think the United States feels about that? Imagine that the executives in Silicon Valley, California, 1,200 of them had their phones or communication devices explode in their pockets and in their faces. How would you think California, the high-tech industry, and the United States security apparatus feels about that? So this is a major, major breach. And yes, as we've heard earlier, if this breach is not to the supply chain, but it's a breach to the communication system, to the communication.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Lebanon declares war against Israel. I mean, they have just cause to do this. And I don't know if it was Lebanon or Jordan where Israel attacked an embassy. I mean, they keep pushing it left and right. And again, your alliance with the U.S. is only so much. And then America's tired of fighting wars, Don't plan on American troops going over there to help you out, especially when the majority of them, we have the internet. We're not censored like in certain parts of the country where you can spin the story around. And especially nowadays with like Reddit, if you just go on Reddit, public freakout, the stuff that's coming out, like they can't hide it like they used to, It's the war crimes that they're just committing left and right. So who knows what's gonna happen? I just know I just stay on alert, and this what part of my channel is about. Watching out for yourself, because you never know what could happen. And so let me know your thoughts on this, and I don't know, just any opinions on this matter.